Welcome back to the Lemon Factor. I'm Chad, and today we're going to tint the windows on our 2019 Honda Accord 2.0 Touring. The reason why I'm doing it now and I haven't done it yet is because of the need or lack thereof. Due to a recent move to Denver, Colorado, the fact that Denver gets over 300 days of sunshine, I absolutely love it, is also detrimental. And what I mean by that is with all the sun, it does heat up the car. And I'm really grateful that I have a garage in which I can now park the Accord. So for the most part, it doesn't impact me unless, one, I'm going on trips or I've parked the car, I've gone somewhere, I've parked the car and I come back. But it's significant. It's very noticeable that if you leave the car out in the sun for a period of time, it gets really hot inside. We recently went on a trip from Denver to Colorado Springs, driving from north to south, and the entire drive down in the morning, the left side of me got burnt from the sun, and then coming back, I still got it with the setting sun on the west. I got the sun coming through the windows. So I'm going to have the windows tinted, and by no means am I an expert when it comes to tinting windows, but I'm going to go through a little bit of the research that I've done, both on the types of tints, the brands of tints, the companies in the area, and how I selected which one that I was going to go with. Then I'm going to show you some before, this is before, and after video and pictures, but I definitely want to prevent the amount of UV rays that are allowed into the car to help with the sun. And of course, at the same time, I think it's going to look great with the pearl white paint. So everything else we've done, from the rims to the emblems to the window chrome delete, everything is a white and black contrast, and I think tinting the windows will take it that next step further, and I really think it'll look good. So if you're interested in seeing how it turns out, then stay tuned. Before I continue, please don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications so that you're made aware of future videos. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I just got back from dropping off the car, and they did indicate that it would take anywhere between 2 to 4 hours to install the tint. In the meantime, let's just talk about the different types of tints that are out there. There's a tint that's dyed, that is a low-cost option. This is the tint that, if you are cost conscious, if you're looking just for the aesthetic appeal of having darkened windows, if you're not necessarily looking to reduce the UV rays coming into your car or reducing the amount of heat from the sun in your car, it may be a good option for you. It's also the tint that when you see a lot of cars, older cars that have the tint that's bubbling, or maybe the tint that's no longer black, it's more purplish, those are usually the dyed tint. So not something that I want to go with, especially considering the big reason why I'm tinting my cars is to reduce the UV rays. Next from dyed is the metallicized or metallic tint. And apparently this is pretty good if you want to reinforce your glass and make it a little bit stronger so it doesn't shatter if something happens. That's not why I'm putting a tint on, but it is apparently a little bit better at reducing the glare. It doesn't fade as much. However, it does impact your radio, satellite, cellular service. So I'm not sure who in today's day and age would opt to get that type of tint. Next to that, there is carbon. I think the level above that is carbon. That, from what I've read, is not as shiny as some of the others. It has more of a matte look, so if you're looking for that, that's great. It does help with the UV rays, but not as much as the ceramic. So the ceramic looks like it's, the top of the line, probably what most people are going to opt for if they're looking for something that really is going to reduce the UV rays. It doesn't fade, which is great. So that's what I opted for. I opted for the ceramic. Now it's what type of manufacturer, right? There's different manufacturers out there producing different tints, and are they all the same? Are they different? Is one better than the other? But at the end of the day, I did go with the LLumar CTX. Now it comes down to who did I opt with. I looked up a lot of different reviews. I reached out to a lot of them, and I went with the company that was most responsive to my questions, could answer my questions the best. One had a ceramic tint, some didn't offer ceramic tinting, and will give a lifetime warranty on fade, on bubbling, scratching, things of that nature. So I went with Mile High Customs. They're in Centennial. The tint itself, you know, you have different degrees of percentages, and different states have different regulations. So if you're looking to tint and you're trying to keep it legal, definitely take a look at what your state's laws are. Here in Colorado, I think it's 27%. I got to go back and look. But anyway, I did a 30% tint, which to me is right in the middle. It's obvious that the window, or it should be obvious that the windows are tinted, but it's not so dark that I'm going to get harassed by the police. And for me, yeah, I think I'll like the look of the darker window, but it was more about getting the protection from the UV rays. I just got my car back. I am super excited. You know, I wanted to make sure that the tint was legal. Didn't want to get into any trouble, but part of me also really likes the look of the darker tint, like I'm sure plenty of you do. So I was a little concerned that I would get the car back and wish that it was darker. However, as I got to Mile High Customs, the car was parked right outside, and from a distance you could tell, you know, it has a really nice tint to it. It looks great. Just make sure you give it 2 to 3 days. Don't use the windows for 2 or 3 days. Let it cure. You should be fine. So with that said too, they did indicate that there's going to be a little bit of bubbling. You're going to see some, quote, imperfections in it, and that I should give it a solid week for them to go away. And I'm glad they said that. So let me show you, if I can, what they're talking about. Let's see if I can get this on the video. I don't know if this is coming across, but there's some little bubbling. See if it captures my finger here. And a little bubbling, a little orange peel, and they said that is perfectly normal. Just keep an eye on it. Give it a week or so. All of that should go away. So let's take a closer look. I think it looks great, and I'd love to hear what you think. I think we're done for today. Thank you for joining, and until next time.